Welcome to my Me Time Monday Wellness Hack on what Alice in Wonderland teaches caregivers about being resilient. This is a Me Time Monday Wellness Hack, which is part of our Self-Care in 7 Minutes video series. I'm Sherri Snelling, gerontologist, author of Me Time Monday, and CEO of the Caregiving Club. Now, as many of you know, I am a bibliophile, a great lover of books. And one of my favorite childhood books that offers great lessons for adults is Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Alice is one of my favorite literary heroines, and the more I analyzed her, the more I saw the lessons for family caregivers on how to meet crazy challenges with resiliency. For Alice not only survives her journey to Wonderland, but she learns valuable lessons that help her thrive in life. One of my favorite quotes from Through the Looking Glass is painted on one of my favorite pieces of furniture, which is my grandmother's childhood chest of drawers. Knowing that she loved Alice as much as I do helps me keep calm and carry on. Here's the quote. "In a wonderland they lie, dreaming as the days go by, dreaming as the summers die, ever drifting down the stream, lingering in the golden gleam. Life, what is it but a dream?" As a child, I was mesmerized by Alice's adventures. As an adult, I have gained newfound insights and a whole new perspective into how modern problems are seen through Lewis Carroll's Looking Glass. What resonated for me about Alice's tale is despite all the confusing worlds in which she finds herself, she remains curious, and this builds her ability to be resilient and face the unknown with courage. Now, resiliency is defined as how to optimize your current state. Most psychologists agree people who are more resilient embrace optimism and hope, accept difficult situations, are solution-oriented, do not prescribe to the victim mentality, curate a success network, plan for a positive future, and take time for self-reflection. The greatest teacher of resilience is failure. Only then can you learn to survive and flourish. Now, Alice often lacks control over her actions and her environments, further highlighting her failure to navigate Wonderland successfully, or so it would seem. She constantly tries to apply logical reasoning to a world that operates on pure illogic. Alice becomes confused, frustrated, and often makes mistakes. But she never stops. She keeps going because she is curious how she can use these new experiences to help her in the future. In the same way family caregivers sometimes feel that the healthcare and long-term care systems are illogical and confusing, by following Alice's example of just continuing the journey and not getting stuck in the craziness, but letting it go and continuing on, caregivers can feel they have accomplished the impossible. Even though caregiving challenges seem like they can be solvable, often they only cause to frustrate you. By letting little things go, you can continue on your journey. Now, the trend in today's participation trophies, rather than accepting winners and losers, is just one example of how we have made children less resilient. Remember the absurdist exercise scene in Alice in Wonderland where Alice engages in a caucus race that has no winners or losers and everyone just runs themselves ragged? That is how we run our lives today. No winners or losers, no real rules, or if there are any, we ignore them. It has us all feeling fatigued, confused, and let down. The only way to become resilient is to face bad or negative events because it helps build strengths you did not know you had. Coping with lifestyle stress helps build toughness that is empowering. When life is too easy and there are no disappointments, you're living in a gray world devoid of the essential roller coaster of human emotions that is needed to become brave, courageous, and determined. Caregivers are faced with these emotions of feeling like they have no control over their lives. But once you get through a very emotionally charged scene, like Alice, you can reflect on how you survived, and it helps you keep going. I often find Alice's journey to be similar to family caregiving. Your world is turned upside down and inside out while everything is backwards and you have very little control to change it. There are times you wish you could drink a potion, shrinking you to a size where you almost disappear. Now, we know 10% of caregivers do turn to their own potions, such as drinking more alcohol than usual, using sleeping aids, or eating too little or too much, all of which changes your body and makes you feel not yourself. While this was a nod to puberty for Alice, for caregivers, it is a sign that making bad choices can make us feel even worse. Alice learns from these experiences of getting smaller, getting bigger, having her neck elongate, that just maintaining balance in her life will help her on her journey. It is also not surprising to me that Alice is supposed to be 7 years old during her magical journey to Wonderland. The power of 7 is something I write about in my Me Time Monday book. It is a number that is related to balance and completion in life. And Alice's adventures teach her everything she needs to know to have a happy and healthy life, even at age 7. Now, while Alice travels on her journey alone, she meets a lot of crazy characters, all of whom she learns from along the way. In the end, is about Alice finding her way back home. Whether it is the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, the Red Queen, and the Dodo, who tends to use big words no one understands. Now, does this remind you of some of the healthcare professionals you encounter? When the White Rabbit continuously checks his pocket watch to see what time it is because he is afraid of being late. This is exactly the stress caregivers feel. Late for work, late picking up the kids, late getting over to see your loved one. You feel that time is working against you. And of course, being late for the most important date, which is your own self-care, is an ongoing theme for caregivers. But Alice's goal was to find the White Rabbit and get into the beautiful garden before the day is done. This is a nod to caregivers to find those 7 minutes a day to experience nature and let it refresh your soul and your sanity. The reality is that all these new acquaintances can become silver linings in a caregiver's life. They taught Alice something even if she didn't understand it in the moment. Encountering new people is a key part of caregiving, and some may become more helpful than they originally seemed. Now, one interesting theme of the Alice in Wonderland books is the constant threat of death, which is quite unusual for a children's book, but it is also what makes it a metaphor for family caregiving. As I said, facing death becomes Alice's resiliency. Remember the off with her head that the Red Queen was always yelling at people? Just like family caregivers, Alice becomes wise and strong on her journey, mostly because she remains curious, or as she says, curious and curiouser. She discovers many insights for real life. She finds you cannot change the past, but you can learn from it. Doing things for others is a worthy pursuit. Friends cannot be neglected. Everything changes no matter what you do to keep it the same. And these unforeseen journeys help you discover who you are. It is a path to identity. These are themes many caregivers face, even though navigating a fragmented healthcare system makes you feel more like the Cheshire Cat, who famously said, "We're all mad here." Alice is a great teacher for caregivers. She teaches us to never let go of the wonderment of childhood that is inside all of us. And to make order out of chaos, you have to lean into absurdity in order to deal with reality. And never forget to tap into that childlike curiosity that fuels your creativity and your resilience in life. Again, resiliency was Alice's superpower, and caregivers can make it theirs too. I hope you enjoyed this Me Time Monday wellness hack. Every Monday, I will have a new self-care in 7 minutes video. You can find more information in my book, Me Time Monday, the weekly wellness plan to find balance and joy for a busy life, or visit MeTimeMonday.com or CaregivingClub.com. And don't forget to subscribe to our Caregiving Club YouTube channel to get all the self-care in 7 minutes videos every Monday. Take care and stay well.